Let's make a cute police shirt using a Cricut and some heat transfer vinyl. Hello, I am Katie from thecraftyblogStalker.com, and I am so excited about this project today because we are making a police themed shirt for my grandson. This is perfect for everyday wear, or it'd be great for Halloween as well. Here are most of the supplies I'll be using, as well as an SVG that I designed specifically for this project, as well as my Cricut cutting machine and my heat press. I will start in Cricut Design Space on my iPad. Of course, you can also use Cricut Design Space on a desktop. Just note that they do look a little bit different. All of the functions are the same. The icons to get to those functions are just in different places. Cricut is also really good at updating their software. So if your screen still looks differently than mine, it is probably just because of a Cricut update. I'll open a new project and I'm going to go with a blank canvas. I'll close that Images tab. Here's my canvas. I have already uploaded my file into Cricut Design Space, so I'm going to hit this plus sign in the corner and go to Upload and Open Uploaded Images. There is my fun little police officer outfit. I'm going to close that again. I want to measure my shirt. This is a little bit easier because this is just an 18 to 24 month shirt. It is pretty small, so it's easy to measure with just a 12-inch ruler. I can see that I don't want the design to be wider than 6.5 inches, and it could be up to about 10.5 inches. We're gonna start with the 6.5. Back to Cricut Design Space, and I'm gonna highlight the design, and I'm gonna go to size. I want the width to be 6.5. That makes the length or the height 8.2 inches, and that still works perfectly within that area. I don't need to make any more changes to the file. It is ready to cut. So I'm gonna go to Make. I don't need to save it. If you'd like to save it, you can. And here are my two matte previews. I've got my gold badge and that shirt. Since I am using heat transfer vinyl, I want to make sure that I mirror. I'll click on this little matte icon in the top left and change to mirror. That changes the police, so it is backwards. And I need to do it for the second matte as well. And mirror. I'm just gonna double check both of my mattes that they are mirrored. They look good. So I'll click Next, connect my maker. If Push and Connect doesn't work here, go into your settings and make sure that you are connected through Bluetooth. On this next screen, I can see my mats again, and I've noticed a glitch here on devices the last few weeks where it's not showing all of those little boxes of materials, but I can still search the materials by clicking All Materials. I am just going to go to Heat Transfer. My material is non-Cricut material, so I've just got the non-Cricut heat transfer. Of course, you'll want to select whatever material you are using. I'm using the same type of material for both mats, so I'm going to remember material settings. Here it's also telling me to make sure that I put the shiny side down. Mat number 1 is our gold material. I've got a standard grip mat, and I'll take off that cover. And I want to put shiny side down, remember. I almost messed that up, so I'm going to reapply this. Bring in my Cricut. I am using a Cricut Maker, but you could cut this design on any of the Cricut cutting machines. However, if you were using the Joy, you would just need to decrease that width to like 5.8 for it to fit. Now I can load my mat, and it will measure, making sure that I have the mat in there. When this play light begins to blink, I can press it to begin the cut. It's all done cutting, so I can unload. Remove my material from the mat. Then we have our next material, which is this dark gray. Load my material, and again, when this light blinks, I'll press it to begin the cut. All done cutting, so I can unload my mat and put my Cricut away. Here are my heat transfer vinyl sheets. I am going to cut the design out so I can save more vinyl. I don't want to weed this entire sheet of vinyl when I can save some of it for another use. Here's our badge. For this one, I'll use my paper trimmer since it's a longer cut. You just have to find that line. I know that's hard for you to see, but I can see it, barely. trim that off. And then I have all of this vinyl to use on a different project. Now I can weed. And I love weeding heat transfer vinyl. It's so easy. You just start in a corner and pull. Unlike adhesive vinyl, where you can't just pull because you might actually rip part of your design. That won't happen with heat transfer vinyl. Then I'm going to get those inside pieces. There is the main part of our shirt. I'll do the same thing with the badge. It's a little bit smaller. There's our little badge. All of our pieces are weeded. I can throw this away. I can bring in my Easy Press and I'll plug that in. I'm then going to go back to Cricut Design Space and go home. Down here along the bottom, if I go to more, I can go to the heat guide. And this will tell me the heat settings to use for my material. I'm using the Easy Press. My transfer material is iron-on, value iron-on since it's not Cricut. For my shirt, it's probably 100% cotton. Yep, 100% cotton. Select that and apply. Here it tells me exactly what my heat settings need to be, whether it needs to be a warm or a cool peel, all of the information needed. So 315 degrees. I'll turn my machine on and my temperature is 315 for 30 seconds. My heat guide says I need to preheat for 5 seconds. Slowly remove liner when cool to the touch. So it's a cool peel. I'm going to move this up a little bit out of the way. I can get my shirt ready. Take off that sticker. I'm going to go over the shirt with a lint roller. We have dogs and I don't want hair to be stuck behind that heat transfer. My heat press is to temperature 315 for 30 seconds. I need to preheat this for 5 seconds. This down. I don't really need to find the center because the center is that collar. That's really pretty easy to find. Lay that down. And then 30 seconds. I'm going to have to do this in 2 sections. Move it down and restart. This is a cool peel. I'll just kind of flap it to help it cool a little bit faster. Cool peel means when this plastic liner is cool to the touch. That is cool to the touch. So I'm going to start peeling and I'm going to peel slowly just in case any areas don't stick to the shirt. They peel up with the liner. I can lay that liner back down. Oh, like right there. Let's lay that back down and go over that again. Again, we're going to do a cool peel, so we need to let that cool back down. We are cool, so I'm going to continue peeling. That looks really good. That is so cute. I'll take my badge. We're going to add our badge on there. I'm going to put this sheet back on top just to protect that heat transfer that I've already applied. And we're going to do the same thing. 30 seconds. A cool peel. That's going to come off. That's okay. And then I can peel off the backer for the badge. Ah, that is so cute. Now to set it, I like to turn it over and we're going to go over it on the back. There is our finished police shirt, and I just think that turned out so stinking cute, and I am so excited to give this to my grandson. Thank you for joining me today, and make sure to stop by my website, thecraftyblogstucker.com, to grab this free SVG and the complete supply list to make this project. If you like this video tutorial, you can find me on YouTube, and you can also watch me at home on your smart TV on Made It Myself TV. Thanks everyone. Bye, and happy crafting.